it's me again, and I wanted to quickly give you a few steps on how to plan your Disney World vacation. And I'm happy to announce that my husband and I have planned our vacation, and we are going in October, and I'm so excited. And in picking the right time to go is can be a little tedious, and we knew that spring and fall are the best times for us to go because number one, the crowd levels are really down, and you don't have to worry about waiting in very long lines, and the weather isn't bad during the spring or the fall either. We've been to both, and we both think that those time of year is good for us to go. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do in planning your Disney vacation is number one is pick your dates. If you want to go in the spring, the summer, the winter, or the fall. And yes, I have crib notes. In the spring and fall, the crowd is very moderate. Like I said a few minutes ago, that's the reason why my husband and I choose to go in the spring or the fall. This year we're going in the fall. In the spring, you have to be careful though to pick the times when there's not going to be spring breakers and people taking their families to Disney for spring break. So what I try to do is I look on a crowd calendar, which I find that on what is it called? Undercovertourist.com. And that's where I usually look to see where the crowd calendar, and to see where the crowds are going to be for those days. And it tells you in different colors on which crowds, the crowd levels for the days and the weeks that you want to be there. So undercovertourist.com. And there's another one that's called Easy WDW. You can also check that out as well. Okay, the next thing that you want to do, so step 2, is find out where you want to stay. Do you want to stay at a Disney resort, or do you want to stay off-site anywhere? And we have stayed off-site one time, and every single time that we've gone back, we've stayed on-site at a Disney resort. And the reason why is because we get the extra magic hours if you stay on the resort. Another thing, if you stay on the resorts, you do not, if you drive your car to each one of the parks, you get a parking pass, so you do not have to pay for parking every single day that you're at Disney. If you are at an off-site hotel and you choose not to take their shuttles, and you decide to drive in with your car every single day, you will have to pay a parking fee every single day at each park that you're at. And I think it's like $17 a day for parking now. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not for sure. Okay, so let's see. An offsite also might have you be a little bit less expensive, but I find that if you stay at the value resorts compared to some of the offsite resorts, in comparison, their price is about the same. So that's why we choose to stay on site at a value resort, and the price isn't going to really be much different than staying offsite. For me anyway, that's what we've come across. Okay, so number 3, what you want to do is after you make your dates and you pick your resort, you're going to want to sit down, you're going to want to make a daily plan of each park that you want to visit each day that you're there. And we always go for the 4 full days of each park. We go to Epcot one day, Animal Kingdom one day, Magic Kingdom one day, and Epcot one day. Did I say that? Hollywood Studios, sorry. So Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom. We go all day long on each day. We do not do a hopper pass. That's just our preference. Somebody else might want their hopper pass. But we choose not to do the hopper pass because it's just me and my husband, and we don't hop back and forth from park to park. So what you want to do is when you find out on Undercover Tourist or whichever crowd calendar that you choose, you look at each day and you'll see what day is the busiest at which park. So say for example today Magic Kingdom might be in the red. Well then we would choose not to go to Magic Kingdom today. We would choose to go to Epcot, say that's in the green or the yellow. So what I would do is I would take out my planning calendar and I would plan out my days according to what the crowd calendar says. So I'll know what park we're going to be at each day according to the crowd calendar. That way I can plan successfully on the good days and know that when we get to the parks, we're not going to have to fight in long lines. So that's a good thing to do. Also, when you're planning your days, make sure that when you plan your days, that you get your fast passes as well for those days. We have not been able to do our fast passes yet because we're not going until October, and so we can't choose our fast passes until 30 days prior to our arrival at Disney. So we still haven't got our magic bands in mail yet, and we still haven't been able to choose fast passes, but we'll be able to do that in September. So number 4, what you want to do is after you make your daily plan for all 4 parks is you want to make a dining plan when you're in each park, and make sure that when you're at Epcot you choose the restaurants you want to eat at or the dining plan that you want to eat at or use at Epcot. Same with Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Make sure that you choose each dining place for the park that you're going to be at that day. It makes it a lot easier, especially for me. I am a type A scheduler, so if I know I'm going to be at Epcot all day long, then Epcot is where I want to have my lunch, and Epcot is where I want to have my dinner. So I'll make sure that I schedule during the time that I'm at Epcot for the places that I want to eat and things that I want to see and do. Okay, you can make your reservations 180 days in advance. We have tried to make our reservations for Be Our Guest, and they're already booked for the day that I want to be at Magic Kingdom. So unfortunately, this time around, I am not going to be able to eat at Be Our Guest. So I have made reservations at other places. Number 5. Plan your park touring. If you know that you want to ride certain rides first thing in the morning, number 1, staying at a resort helps because then you can take advantage of the extra magic hours, and then you can go and ride those rides before all the big crowds get there. Another thing too is if you have a fast pass, when you do your fast pass and you know you want to hit the hot rides first, obviously get your fast pass and then plan out have a plan where you want to go during that day. So like say if you're going to Magic Kingdom and you know you want to ride Space Mountain, that's the first thing you're going to do is go to Space Mountain and then make your way around for all the other fast passes in that area. That's just what we do. I'm not saying that this is something that you have to do. This is just the way that I plan my day. So if I know I'm going to do fast pass at Space Mountain first thing, then I'm going to head to Space Mountain first thing in the morning, and then I'm going to make sure that I hit all the other things over in that area before I make my way over to another place. So I'm not going to have fast pass at 9:15 over in Tomorrowland and then head over to Fantasyland and have another one at like 9:45, because that just probably won't work. So you have to plan strategically and you have to plan properly in order to be able to make all your times and your day great. That way you know you're not going to run out of things to do, and you're going to make sure that you have everything that you want to see on a list, and that's usually what I do as well. So I think those are the 5 steps